Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to Friday morning. I got snow on the ground. I got kids at home again. And we're sitting here ready to trade. It's going to be a good day today. Glad you're here. My name is Tyler. I'm going to be helping navigate us through the wild world of trading futures. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm sure we're going to have some opportunities to take trades. Yesterday was a little bit slow. We managed our risk. We waited patiently. Ended up taking another trade in the extended stream or the private stream after the live stream, and we got two or three decent trades. 2 trades, I think. It was 2 trades. And I was just like, yeah, let's just call it a day. Let's not push our luck. So here we are this morning. We're going to open up in prayer. We'll get started. We're watching for ES to hit that swing low. I did try a long pre-market here. I tried to go long right here at this breaker. It didn't work. I ended up selling right there. So I am currently sitting about $100 in the red. Didn't play out for me. So let's go ahead and open in prayer and then we'll get started, okay? Father, we just honor you this morning. We thank you, Father, you're good and you're faithful. Thank you that your word is always true. Your word is true in every circumstances. Your promises are promises in every circumstance. And Father, we just fix our eyes on the author and the finisher of our faith. We trust your leadership. We trust your direction. We thank you for your goodness and faithfulness. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, well, let's start at the higher time frame. Let's look at the daily first, or the weekly. So the weekly, the previous week ended lower but inside the range. So this week I don't know how much lower we're gonna go. It could go either way. So I don't think there's much clarity on the weekly. On the daily, yesterday we closed back inside the range. We respected the daily fair value gap. I would say probably lower prices at this point. I was looking for a scalp off of that daily low, just something to go higher. It didn't give it to me. When we look at the hourly, we did, or the 4 hour, so we did reach up. Interesting enough, we reached up into the weekly highs, or those equal highs that I marked yesterday. I was like, these equal highs look suspicious. And sure enough, we ran to those equal highs right there. Well, we'll go on a lower time and you'll see it. And then from there, we dropped. We have our sweep of liquidity, and then we have our expansion. So even when I took that breaker, I was bearish. I just wanted to see if we got a reaction because we did sweep the daily low prior to me taking that entry. We swept it at the 8 a.m. candle. We had a new candle. We referenced it on a breaker, and I thought we could come back up into this range a little bit. So here's that sweep right there, right at 4 a.m. There's our equal highs, and it's also an hourly high. You should also note that. I'll mark that right there. And then when we drop down to, if we look left, there's no hourlies over here, so nothing to the left except liquidity way down here. And then on the 30-minute, again we have that sweep, but let me show you what those equal highs look like, because I'm telling you, I'm like, they just looked suspicious. Look at those equal highs right there. Those were the equal highs that I mentioned I was interested in it reaching up towards before. we saw any move lower. See how just, you see that? And then what do? We run above it, and then we start moving lower. Here's an hourly sweep right here. Here's a breaker also right there. All right, here's where I think previous ES hit previous day low. It didn't run the low, it tagged it. It made equal lows. So we'll wait here, but that's gonna be our signal to potentially look for higher prices. We have news at 9:45, flash PMI, manufacturing. What's up, Mess? I'm glad you're here, my friend. Is that Mesa Culpepper? Well, I'm glad you're here. Volume seems lower than usual. Do you mind increasing the volume? Let me see. Maybe it's I'm just talking low. Testing 1, 2. I'm hitting up into the oranges and the reds, so I'm pretty up there. Let me change screens here. All right, here's our push to the previous day low right now. I think we've had quite the sell-off pre-market. I think we need to retrace some. This is our London high. That's going to be there for probably a while. I'm not sure we're going to come up back there right away. London high. London low's been ran. We'll mark it though, because it could act as a breaker. And then we will find midnight open. How many of you got the Apex email yesterday? How many of you got the Apex email yesterday? They were making a point, weren't they? Apparently there's some creators and affiliates that were abusing the system, and people were saying that Apex doesn't care as long as you're an affiliate, they don't care what you do. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case. Let's mark our opening range gap. Large opening range gap this morning. Be honest with you, I really need ES to hit London or the previous day low. It made equal lows, and sure, it could go higher from there, but in regards to 930, unless that's taken prior, I'm not interested in the 930 model. I mean, that's just crazy. They're on the open of some of the things they described was on the open when silver was crashing, when price would open at 6 p.m., they'd let it first pump higher shortly, and then they would go short, and then they would average down. I know another creator that does something similar. I don't know if he's gotten in trouble or not. I haven't seen him say anything. I haven't been on X. I locked myself out of X. It's been a waste of my time, less productive. But now I'm feeling the urges to find out what's going on. Here's a breaker to the long side. I'm not interested right now. It is enough. It is technically enough to go long when you make those, when it tags the previous day low. I just want the sweep of liquidity. I think we might get it off the open with the volatility where it sweeps the London low and then moves higher. That's kind of what I'm anticipating. If we are going to go higher, that's what I would want to see. We're trying a new music today. I'm gonna see if I get slapped with a penalty. It's another channel called the Christian Lo-Fi. So we're gonna see. I haven't reached out to them, but we're gonna see if they give permission for it to be played on other people's YouTube channels. All right, 30 seconds before market opens. And if it does go lower, I could see it going lower in an epic fashion. In an epic fashion. We'll mark 9:30 here as well. So there's the tag of previous day low. That's what I was concerned that might happen right off the open. With that being said, now we have a fair value gap right here, including the volume imbalance. That could turn into an inversion. From a 5-minute perspective, we got 5-minute fair value gap here, 5-minute fair value gap here, 5-minute fair value gap there. From a 15-minute, no fair value gaps at all. There will be a fair value gap, it looks like, at 9:30. Doesn't qualify as our first presented fair value gap, but all right, so there's our inversion. I'm going to do a small scalp here. Oh, wow. There's my position. We're going to sell there. Right off that sweep of the high. Just a little scalp. That recovered, because I only did one micro, that recovered most of my losses from that pre-market trade that I took on the breaker right here. Yeah, you could, but I mean, it was, to me, it was too obvious. We had an obvious key level. We had the volatility at 9:30 leave us a wick and give us a green candle, and then the next candle close an inversion to the upside while a correlating asset makes hits a key level. That to me is just, it's obvious. It's not a full port obvious. It's a, hey, I'm seeing the shift in direction right now. I'm willing to do a small position. I'd be paying attention to London in midnight open as far as area where we could reach up to from a higher time frame perspective. If you look at the 15 minute, there it is right there. And that is a breaker sitting there. Ultimately, remember, I am willing to go to the downside. That's what we've been, that's the bias. It being a Friday though, I'm not as heavy. If it was a Tuesday or Wednesday, I'd be really heavy. Because it's Friday, I'm not as heavy unless the market shows me that it is gonna be heavy. Does that make sense? Friday is the reaccumulation. So we have your accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and the reaccumulation into the end of the week. So it looks like a heartbeat, right? So looking at either the retracement or a accumulation into the close. Now, Friday doesn't always give you that, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes Fridays can be pretty epic. All right, opening range gap has been filled. Opening range gap has been filled. You can see the clear intention for price moving in that direction. Outside of that inversion, we haven't got another position. You would not take this inversion to the upside. That's too risky, too much downside risk. All right, so where this candle closes is going to be a big factor. Look at all, I might adjust my bias here. Here's a swing low. Here's a swing low. Here's equal lows on the 4-hour time frame. Here's a 4-hour fair value gap. We're going to watch this 4-hour fair value gap as I'm doing my analysis here. If we close inside or above this, forget everything I just said, we're going long. Forget everything I just said, we will go long. This could be major manipulation to then move higher. Now, that means it would be a double break day, low probability, so we would be looking at London high. We'd be looking at London high. Got a breaker right here we just ran into. Remember, London low, London high is sitting, or London low is sitting right there with midnight open. So I'm seeing both sides of the market again today. That's typical when we're in some form of consolidation, or we're like this, where there's a lot of overlapping price action on a higher time frame or intermediate time frame. Depending on where the 4 hour closes, if we close up here, I would look for another push lower into this 5-minute breaker. That looks very good for a long. I would be very interested in that. I think we need to wait another 20 minutes though to see where the 4 hour candle closes. Let me ask a question. I have a question for everybody here. I was thinking of I was in the process of making a video, and I had an idea, and I think I'm gonna execute on it. But I want to get I want to get a feel. I'm gonna do a poll. All right, here's my question. Would you be interested in a 30-day roadmap? Free. That would give you step-by-step things to focus on for 30 days as you're learning as a day trader. It's a written document. It's kind of like an ebook, but it's something you would, for 30 days, you would you would study certain things, you would look for do some certain back testing, look for different things in the charts. And then there would be a paid portion where it's a guided study. So you can have it all free, or if you want a guided portion where you would have me on screen going through day one and showing you what to look for, showing you how to study, mistakes traders make. And then that would be an optional add-on for you to be able to study with me for 30 days. There is no, probably not. This is going to be all trading based. I mean, it comes out when I talk, no matter what. If you're in the academy, you would get all access to it. Yes. No. It would not be. It would not be. It would be included if you're a part of the academy. It's the first step. Think of it as the first step. But that will change once it's all done. There'll be 2 separate offerings. So if you're a part of the academy before it comes out, then yes, it'll be included. But after it comes out, it would not be included. It's people would take the 30-day roadmap first before they would become part of the academy, most likely. I don't use Bookmap. No. We're just pumping here. London high sitting right there. We had one fair value gap retracement that overlapped with a breaker. You could have taken that right there. I wasn't going to take that. I might, if we get a retracement down into here, I might take another single long, finding support at midnight open and London low right there. There's technically the dip. I want something a little deeper. If it goes without it, it can go without me. I don't need to risk capital for that. I'll wait for something better. Oh yeah, we got news in 1 minute. Most likely that's going to push us into the London high. That's how I would see it. Most likely that's what's going to happen. I kind of want to just do it, but that's the gambler trying to come out. I'm not going to do anything. My hands are off. My hands are off. Let's see what happens. It's going to do it. It's going to go pop right into London high. What do we get? Absolutely no reaction. So what happens is when that happens, it's just whatever the plan was is what it continues to do. FX calendar. Just Google FX calendar. Yeah, this looks good. It looks good. What we can do is from this level, we can probably see some form of retracement. Unless we're just going to keep pumping. So here I'd be looking for a retracement. I'm not interested in a double break day on a Friday. Do we have anything up there? I don't know. I mean, that's pretty bullish. We do have a 4-hour fair value gap way up here. ES hit, swept its highs, or swept a internal high. Looking at this 15-minute breaker inside this fair value gap right here as a potential area to go long. I've been having somebody that has struggled with getting in. Let's see if they're on. I'm not gonna try to catch this knife here. So 15-minute. We came back down to this level. Looks good. I probably would take an inversion to the upside just to confirm. Because we also have a 15-minute fair value gap here. And we have an inversion here that we could dip down into. All right, I'm going to try one. The way it respected that, I'm going to take a contract long. Stop is at the low. It's not looking good. Nah, I don't like, I want to see the reaction back the other direction right away. Got 5 minutes. ES did what I wanted, hit the fair value gap. Everything's looking good. Just, I don't know if we're going to take another dip or not. So lighter size. We're risking 20 points. $40. Just an unwillingness to move higher here. I'm gonna close the position. It could still go, but I just don't like the formation. It's looking like a market maker sell model. So I'll get out at break even. Wait for something a little cleaner. Maybe it manipulates and then moves higher. That'd be our inversion to the upside. Not when you do proper sizing. Not when you are taking small contracts that should not affect your emotions. Two minutes till 10 o'clock. What's up, Chan? We're going to find out here in 2 minutes. Are we closing below this 4-hour level or above it? That fair value gap, remember? So that's what we're looking at. Are we closing inside of it, below it, or above it? It's just too close, and we're too close to the time. I'm gonna sit. I did like this. Yeah, we took one trade right here, inversion to the upside. Got a nice win for 40 points, 40, 50 points. I did take a loss earlier, tried to go long here from a breaker. So sitting at just under break even right now, looking for a clean opportunity. Haven't really had one. Here's the inversion to the upside and 10 o'clock. Also a breaker right here. There's just I don't have a clear direction. I think it's bullish. That's why I went long. News right, or that's not news, that's just the 10 a.m. candle. We're right at midpoint of yesterday's range, midnight open, London high. You could turn right here. So that's like, I want to see a willingness to get through midnight open. And then I can use midnight open as a support level. I don't want to take a trade into midnight open and then anticipate it's. That's just like saying, oh yeah, I know that I'm going to go full speed and I know that the light's going to turn green when I get there, going 80 miles an hour. That's kind of what you're doing going into midnight open. You don't know if it's going to go through or if it's going to reverse. Yeah, so that breaker did respect. It was too close to the 10 o'clock candle and it was looking like a market maker sell model. There's the pump higher. Look at that. Wow. 120 points. 130 points. It ran our London high target. And we're right next to the previous day high. We've already ran previous day low. So it's looking like it's going to be a double break day. There's the double break. Yeah, we were in it, weren't we? All right, so more than likely we're gonna just keep expanding. Here's another London. And did we already run that? Yeah, we already run that. We ran that London high. Oh, bummers. Bummers, bummers, bummers. There's always some other trade. Always some other trade. Four hour, we closed above the 4 hour fair value gap. Bullish. We'll see if it wants to come back down here a little bit. We have not an order block yet. Find my boots and you can wear my boots. That's your best option. I'm not having a conversation about this right now. Safer to not do anything at the moment here, folks. We got a large candle and we don't know which way it's going to go with it. Obviously, we're bullish, but we can always do something like this. What did they say about the tariffs? Tyler, I just bought my first ever eval on Top Step. I was on that trade, but it did not sell at my TP. I don't like Top Step. Equal lows here. I'm not gonna lie, that looks tempting. We got a 2-minute right here. A 2-minute fair value gap that's gonna close. So we have an inversion. I'm gonna take one contract and see if it wants to run for these equal lows here. I'll be very careful. This is not the best setup. We do have sweep of previous day high. Just looking for it to run these equal lows. No, don't talk to me. Go talk to mom. Well, I'm on a live stream. I got kids at home complaining. Looking at this low. Come on, go ahead and hit it for me. If getting ready to close the position. I'm going to close it. The candles are too big for me to want to for it to come back up here or reach up into this inversion that's sitting up here. I just don't want to take that extra risk on, so we'll wait for an inversion to the downside. Lost 20 bucks on that. I'm waiting for the right one. I'm waiting for the right one. The right one's just not here yet, and that's why I haven't increased any size or anything. Why don't I like Top Step? There's multiple reasons. What was struck down in the Supreme Court? Oh, that's big news. I need to look at that. Give me a second, folks. I need to look at that. That's some news. Ask Mom. Stop interrupting me. I'm on a live stream. Don't interrupt me. What is the news? Supreme Court to release opinion on Trump tariffs looming. Becoming live 4 minutes ago. The Supreme Court rules against Trump tariffs. Lower courts. No, this doesn't look right. Lower courts ruled against the Trump tariffs, with both sides asking the Supreme Court to issue a definitive ruling. That's not good news. I still don't have clarity. Did the Supreme Court rule? Look at the size of these candles since that. The size of these candles are 53. The ATR is 53 points on 1 minute candles. Just note the volatility. And go to CNBC. I literally was on that. But it says a lower court strikes down. It doesn't say the Supreme Court. Supreme Court strikes down Trump tariffs. Huge chunk of President Obama's far-reaching tariff agenda. This is horrible for the United States. This will strip the United States of its ability to be a top country. That's horrible news. It's going to be great for the market the market's just gonna just pump higher. Yeah, this is not good for the country economically. This is gonna be great for the stock market. Wow. Looks like it was the Supreme Court. That's huge. That makes me sad, to be honest with you. I think that's going to pump the market. All of the commitments he got of money coming into the United States now disappears. Literally, it will disappear. I mean, you have the president of the United States advocating for the United States, bringing in millions and trillions of dollars in to regenerate, what do you call it? To spark the economy. And they're going to take that away. Now everybody, China knows that, we are the ones in control here. We don't care what happens with Trump. We'll just wait 3 years, wait till he's out and get somebody else in here, and then we'll keep doing what we want to do. It affects us in our ability to be a superpower. That's very sad. Watching this run those lows. This is probably going to happen right here. I don't know if I want to trade in this, guys. Way to go. Way to go, Ken. That's great, man. I can't believe it. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Look at this. I mean, guys, this is straight manipulation. You come back down right to this level and we're just going to turn. We did that here. This is manipulation. Just stay out. Stay out. I can't believe it. What do you mean by that, BC? I mean, if he wants to impose tariffs on a country for imports, I don't understand. I mean, how do you govern as a, I don't know. The way I feel right now is how I felt when I heard Charlie Kirk was murdered. I know it doesn't even compare about somebody's life, but that's like the shock and like that's how I feel right now. I'll ask ChatGPT. I mean, we're just waiting for this crazy I mean, these candles are running 130. I'm not touching those guys. We'll sit here and we'll ask the question. You guys are gonna listen to this. Trump was just struck down on his tariff ruling by the Supreme Court 6-3, meaning he can't impose the tariffs on other nations. What impact does that have? What is that going to restrict him from doing? And what are ways around it that he can continue to advocate for the United States on getting better trade deals?
The Supreme Court, in a 6-3 decision, struck down Trump's use of emergency powers to impose tariffs, ruling he exceeded his authority. This means he can't unilaterally impose broad tariffs without Congress. Over $175 billion in tariffs could be refunded, and this reduces the risk of sudden tariff surprises. For trade deals, he will need to work through Congress or other legal avenues, but sudden unilateral moves are off the table.
What other legal avenues does he have?
He could still negotiate traditional trade agreements, but those need congressional approval. He could also work through targeted tariffs authorized by existing trade laws, such as anti-dumping or countervailing duties, if there's a legal finding of unfair practices. Lastly, he could advocate for legislative reforms, encouraging Congress to grant more authority or flexibility in future trade negotiations.
Gonna have to pay back $175 billion. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a trade. We're sitting here. The market's not horrible. We're waiting for an opportunity. This is going to be a targeted right here. I want to see if we can find an opportunity. More than likely, we're going to have to wait for 11 o'clock before we do anything. But that breaker is holding up, man. This 15-minute fair value gap will probably be tagged. Yeah, it's going to be worldwide. I mean, I hate to say this, but this is going to mean that China has leverage on us. They have so much leverage. It strips our leverage away. It strips our ability to govern. It's horrible. I'll be right back. Can you use the restroom? I'm not trading until we get either we hit this high or we hit the low of that news candle. There's just no structure that we can really play off of. It's probably just going to keep creeping higher with massive pullbacks to pull people out of the position. This gold dropped as a result of it. Silver dropped. Swap out the lows. Wow, interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to use that 4 hour as any analysis. It's too big. We're not really consolidating in a I mean, sure, we're in the 4 hour fair value gap, but we have liquidity points that we've swept. So we are consolidating, in my opinion, because we've swept liquidity on the downside. We've swept liquidity on the upside. We have news. I think it's still bullish. We've respected this 4 hour fair value gap. We're just looking for our opportunity on how we can go long and participate in it. Really, the sky's the limit with news like this. It could pump and just keep going higher. So I'm not really going to put a limit on where we potentially are going to retrace. I'm just going to look for my opportunity to take a trade long. It doesn't look like it's going to close above London high. If it does, that would give us an order block on the hourly. I mean, we already know we're going to be bullish here. I hope so. I mean, I'm sure they've been anticipating that was going to be the ruling, how they'd handle it. Here's 1030. We'll see if we get the 1030 model. I'm probably unlikely going to take it. I apologize, guys. Does my chewing, are you guys hearing that, or is the music covering that up? I'm hoping the music covering it up. I'm not talking to you. Don't ask me any other questions. I've been asked a dozen questions. I'm on a live stream. Don't interrupt. The 1030 model is a video. You can see the video. Oh, that's horrible. How about now? Sorry. I couldn't help it. Please don't do that again. Sorry, I had to. It was a one-timer. It was a one-time event. Old enough to fit in my clothes, barely, and wear all my stuff and my shoes and take my tools and do stuff with them and leave stuff all around the house, not clean up after themselves, and then expect all these fun things to be given to them. You hear every time I bury one in the chair too. No, you don't. Yeah, Brian, that's a sign of basically saying, hey, let's not trade that at all. ASMR trading. I've seen that stuff. That's just, it's like, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Definitely weird. All right, if we get this inversion, this one looks like the best inversion to take to these. We swept an internal point of liquidity. We still have 45 sized, 45, these are big candles. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Yes, my kids are like everybody else's kids. So far, we've been semi-patient. I think I could have been a little more patient. Instead of taking, I mean, we've managed our risk though. I'm happy about that. Where's the ES? Here's a small little breaker right there. I'm not interested in shorts. We can't with that news. That's bullish news. I'm just not sure what they're going to do with it. Yeah, that's just it just doesn't look good. We're either going to have to be very patient, wait for better structure, or just call it a day. All right, 87% of you said you'd be interested in the 30-day roadmap. If I was thinking to myself, how many, when I first started, how I wished I had a step-by-step guide, like day 1, do this, day 2, do this. Now, your day trading journey is going to be way longer than 30 days, but at least it helps you focus your attention on stuff. And it's really to help expose you to the things you need to understand and how to research them and backtest and all that stuff. There's an inversion right here and London high. That's a good place for a reaction to see. We're just reading order flow at this point. Seeing if it wants to respect this inversion and move lower right here. Honduras. When I was a kid, I was in Honduras. I went and we did a ministry outreach. Or what do you call it? What is it when you, not a ministry outreach? Missions trip. We did a missions trip out there. Awesome. I'm glad you're here, Mr. Wolf, Dr. Wolf. Yeah, this was when I was a wee teenager. There's another fair value gap right here. Since we've been making higher lows, I'll anticipate that we make a higher high if we close above this. I kind of want to attempt it. Do I want to take that and just see what happens? Yeah, I'm going to take it. 1 micro, and we're going to see if it wants to go. Stop is going to be at the low of the candle. There's the close. Let's see if it gives us a higher high here. Nope, stopped out. This is why this is why you don't do it. Oh my gosh, this is why we sit on our hands. This is why I only did a micro, just to see what happens. And it was like instantaneous. Yeah. Guys, I might not trade. It just doesn't make sense to trade right now. We'll wait till 11, see what happens, and then we'll decide. Oh, look at that. Right back up, and this is going to be the push. It's, yeah, highly, highly manipulated. And the candles being so large. Yeah, guys, I don't think I'm gonna do anything else. I'm hesitant on wanting to do anything else. We'll just wait and see. Yeah, it's just not looking. Surprise, surprise. I like that 200 level if it wants to go there. Got a new 15-minute candle here. What's up, lad? Hey, I saw your message. If you want to find me on the Discord, we can make sure that everything's working for you. We're in the macro time. Got an hourly fair value gap sitting right here. $12 left. Honestly, I don't think I could want to go short. I think we have to consider longs, and the size of the candles, they've shrunk a little bit. There's respect of the 1 minute order block right there. Let's see if it gets us another push higher here. ES has not hit its high yet. The data high candle. We'll watch that and see how it reacts there. You gotta join the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, Texas. Yeah, there's liquidity sitting here at 25,128. Got a new order block right here. Swing highs are coming. I'm sorry, guys, that this is how today's playing out. I wish we were I want to show where it's taking another trade. I don't even know how we're going to react once we sweep this high. We could have a retracement, but we're so bullish, and with the news, I'm just like, I think I might. I know, I'll give it another 10 minutes. I'll give it 10 minutes. I mean, we could. I don't know if I want to target that. If you think we're still bullish and we're going to run this high, your entry would be around this 1 minute order block. It'd be the most logical point to take a long. It's right here. Just like I marked out this one here. Sometimes what will happen is you'll got these multiple order blocks and it will run through the recent one and go to the next one and then respect that one and go from there. Send me an email, Texas. Send me an email. And I'll verify that you're a part of the academy, and then I'll manually add you to the Discord. If it wasn't for the tariff news, this long that we took right here, yes, it was violated, but as soon as it was reclaimed, I would have re-entered right there. Because when an inversion is reclaimed and there's an order block that's created as a result of it, there is high probability that level is going to be targeted. There's also a 1 minute fair value gap down here. You can take it off the 2 if you want. All right, 1 more minute, and then we hit 10 o'clock. $11 Watch this. 10 o'clock's gonna come and we'll probably hit it. Sorry, 11 o'clock is what I meant. Oh, look at that. Look at that. They're different all over the place. PX. An order block is a series of down close candles before a move higher. So you can have order blocks that are in the middle of a range. But the best ones are the order blocks at the bottom of the range. Look at this. This is the lowest since the news. This is our lowest order block. Look how it respected that order block. You see that? So you can take the last candle before the move higher and you can use that as an order block. You can also use the last candle in the range and use that as forget that little piece. You can use this high and you can bring it over. Watch this. Watch this. The high of these down close candles, that's the order block. Just pretend that little thing isn't there. Okay. We're going to drag this over. Look at what happens. Do you see that? See how it came down into that fair value gap to the high of that order block, which is the lowest in the range. So technically, you would call this a breaker. I wasn't going to take it. In fact, I didn't even see it, to be honest with you, because I wasn't looking for it here. But an order block will be in every breaker you take. An order block will be in every inversion that you take to the upside. Then you have the next stage is called a proportion, a proportion block. So if this is your order block, this move into that order block now becomes the proportion block. These two down close candles. And what happens is when that gets back above that candle, you can anticipate price moving aggressively in that direction. Does it happen every time? No. But when it does, be ready for it. This is an example of one. It just happens to be around news that I wasn't willing to do anything. And I don't use it as a model. I use it as just confluence. Then you have the internal trending order blocks. Every down close candle is an order block after the next candle closes through it. When you see price comes back down into that order block, you can use that as an area of support to potentially go long. That's why I marked it. That's why I marked this one to see if price was going to come back down to it. It did not, and it ran the high. So once we run highs, we look to see these either continue to be respected or violated. When they're violated, it's showing a change in state of delivery. So what happens if this is violated? These two up close candles right here turn into an order block if this closes down here. And now we can do the same thing the other way. Does it want to create an order block here, then come back up to it, which is a breaker, and then move lower? Not trying to overthink, but I see if you're just looking at last down close candles as your order block, the following up candles is engulfing, which would technically be a change in state of delivery on a much smaller time frame. Here, you just realized something, PX. Order blocks are change in states of delivery. That's exactly right. That's why when I'm on a higher time frame like the 15-minute time frame, I can look at this level right here. See those two down close candles on the 15-minute? I'll see this and I'll say, guys, there's a breaker here. So watch this. This is 9 a.m. Okay? This is a 15-minute order block that was created. And what I would say is, I bet you there's an order block, there's a breaker right there. So if we go down to the 1 minute, look what's right there. Low, high, lower, low, there's a breaker there. Low, high, lower, low, there's the breaker there. Does it come and retest it? No. It doesn't always do that, but you can look for breakers to be retested, and it will retest it right there. So a higher time frame order block is a lower time frame change in state of delivery. So look at this. Okay, watch this. We're on the 1 minute. Let's go up to the 15-minute time frame. Let's go up to the 30-minute time frame. Look at these two down close candles. That is a 30-minute order block that acted as a breaker when price came back down here on the 30-minute time frame and then moved higher. Does that make sense? That's how it's one way I use higher time frames to give me perspective on things. It kind of cleans it up for me to say, oh, there's a 15-minute order block. Yep, there's the breaker. All this looks good. All right, folks, I'm going to call it a day. We're going to get off. It's Friday. Nothing happening here. So I'm going to call it. We'll be back live tomorrow, Monday morning. Would love to have you there. Apex is doing their 90% off sale right now through the 24th, I believe. So you can get 90% off some Apex evaluation accounts if you're interested in that using the code DTJ. And then, yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys here next week. God bless. Stay safe.